Hey, this is Mastin Kip, and welcome to day 3 of the 2016 Jumpstart. Today, we're going to talk about finding your soul tribe. Finding your soul tribe. This is Mastin Kip, best-selling author, life coach, and you can find me over on mastinkip.com. Excited to bring this to you today. So let's start out with a quote from Jim Rohn. Love this quote. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So think about who you're spending time with. Now, this might be mom or dad or a significant other. It might be friends. It might be people from work. You never really know who you're spending time with until you really sit down and think about it. Look at who you're spending time with and then think about who you want to become in 2016, the goals and the vision that we set yesterday, the calendar that you're clearing, and then ask yourself, do I want to become these people? Now, this is not to judge them. This is not to say you're greater than them and they're less than you. This is just to really get clear around the idea of who you're spending time with, because who you spend time with is who you become. And for me, when I first heard this quote, I was like, oh my goodness, I really need to find new people to hang with because you really live up to the expectations of the people in your peer group. And so here are the consequences of not having a supportive tribe. First, putting your dreams on the back burner. When you have a tribe who doesn't support you, they don't really want you to individuate. They don't want you to become yourself, because when you do and you become more, you reflect back to the tribe that doesn't support you ways in which they haven't become more of themselves. Or you try to become more powerful, and there are unconscious agreements that have been made between you and people in your tribe, and you start to break those agreements. It can really disturb people, and so you play small. Also, you never find out who you really are because you are living by the rules of your tribe. So if you're in a tribe or a group of people who don't support your dreams, it's going to be vital for you to break up with this tribe and break up with their rules and break up with their expectations. And there's nothing wrong with them, and I'll get to this here a little bit later in the video, but we got to get clear on who you need to surround yourself with. Who's going to improve your life? Who's going to push you? Who's going to hold you accountable? Who's going to support you? If your dream is just getting started, it's very fragile right now. So you got to surround yourself with people who are going to support you in that dream. Also, you end up taking bad advice from people who have no experience in the area of your dreams. I call this proximity advice. And we take proximity advice by the people who just happen to be in our proximity. And if the 5 people we're spending time with aren't experts at starting a business or having a romantic relationship that's on fire or having a really healthy body or creating abundance or whatever it might be that we're going for, we don't really want to take their advice. Now, we can have them encourage us and say, yes, I believe in you, but you only want to take advice from people who have produced the outcome that you're trying to create. And so if you're taking advice from people who have unrealized dreams or really relationships that aren't thriving or, whatever it might be, and, you don't want to take advice about your relationship from a bitter single person, and you don't want to take advice about health and wellness from someone who's overweight, and you don't want to take advice about money from someone who's been broke their whole life. And so you really want to be selective about who you're taking advice from. Also, because of all this, you live in daily self-doubt, and you start to hypnotize yourself into doubting yourself, doubting your dreams, doubting your purpose, doubting the reason why you think you were born, doubting your gifts. And this can have you feeling like the odd one out because you feel like something needs to change. You feel like, oh my goodness, like this is who I'm becoming. I want to be this new person, but my tribe doesn't support me. Gosh, I feel kind of alone. I feel kind of like an orphan, or I kind of feel like an alien. And if that's the sense that you're feeling, know that you can find a supportive tribe, but you got to make changes. Also, another consequence, feeling like you have to tone it down or change yourself to make other people happy. And this is something I've experienced a lot in my life. I feel like I really fit in one of my favorite countries to go to is Greece, because everyone's loud and outgoing and excited, and I can kind of mess with them and joke around, and it's one of my favorite places to be. Coming from Kansas, they're a more conservative state. Nothing wrong with Kansas. I love Kansas. Kansas is my home. But, there were times when I was just told to tone it down and to really not be myself. And I, for a long time, especially as a child in my formative years, had supportive parents. But the environment that I was in was very conservative and very sort of quiet. And I'm not a quiet person. I'm a loud person. I like to talk and express. And so if you feel like you have to tone it down or change yourself to make other people happy, this is a sign that you're not really in the supportive tribe. So the question then becomes how to create your soul tribe, how to create a soul tribe. So first, start breaking up with people who bring you down or who don't support who you really are. And this can be easy to say, very difficult to do, but look at the people in your life and ask yourself, Do they bring me up or do they bring me down? And if they bring you down and take energy from your life, you may experience the time right now to be moving on. And that can be scary. That can create all kinds of uncertainty in your life, and you want to go towards that. Also, be lovingly bold, not jerkingly bold, not meanly bold, not, superiorly bold. Be lovingly bold about who you are and have the courage to be your true self. Sometimes we see this when people come out to be their true selves, that they really kind of come out and they emotionally vomit or they turn into sort of a bratty energy. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying be lovingly bold about who you are and have the courage to be your true self. One of the reasons why we tend to stay in tribes that don't support us is because we're scared to be our true self and we're scared of being alone. And we don't yet know that there are people out there who will support this new version of who we're becoming. Also, put your true self out into the world. If you're feeling like people can't see you, it's probably because you're not showing yourself. So you've got to show your true self to the world. Don't fear the vacuum this creates, welcome it. Meaning, if you're breaking up with people who don't serve you and you're welcoming in new people through being your true self, there will be a vacuum. There will be space that you're going to create. And it can be scary to live in that space because, you might feel like you're being abandoned or it's never going to work and you might want to give up. But don't fear the vacuum, welcome it. Trust that as you become and show more of yourself, you will find people who see the new you. I can tell you that this is true. This happened for myself. This happened for many of my clients. Just trust that the more you become yourself, you're going to find people who have, these beliefs that you have, and they share these beliefs and they share these common interests and these values. And so get excited about that. And then let these new and supportive people in when you find them. Sometimes we can kind of keep people at a distance and we can be scared because we've been hurt in the past. But if there's people coming into your life that share your values, that share your new beliefs, that share and support who you're becoming on a soul level, have the courage to let them in. All right, and most importantly, surround yourself with people who lift you up. That's really important. You want to be around people who bring you energy. Model success and find mentors who are further down the road than you are. This is also huge. If there's a result that you want to produce, model people who have already produced that result. Find a mentor, find a life coach, find somebody who can help you stretch and become more. Because the other thing is, if you work with a mentor, chances are they can introduce you additionally to like-minded people as well. Also, this is huge, so listen up. Don't judge people from your old tribe. You are not better than them, just on a different path. Bless them and move along. One of the things that happens on the spiritual path when you become more spiritual and you pick up, my book or Gabby Bernstein's book or Marie Forleo's work or Wayne Dyer or Tony Robbins or, whoever you're into, and you start to know better, then you look at these other people and you go, well, they've never heard of Wayne Dyer, or they don't do yoga, or they don't wear Lululemon, or they don't drink green juice or whatever, and you start to judge them. Well, that's not very loving of you. So if you're doing that, knock it off. But truly, don't judge people from your old tribe. They served a purpose, they continue to serve a purpose, and you want to love them for where they are and not really hold this idea that you're more significant over them because you have this spiritual knowledge. That's not a very spiritual position to take. All right, so next steps. Here's what we got to do to go next. First, break up with anyone who brings you down. This can be scary. This can be simple but not easy to do, but get really clear on who's bringing you down and have the courage to break up with them. Be lovingly and boldly yourself, not jerkingly and boldly yourself, not brattingly and boldly yourself. Be lovingly and boldly yourself. Get excited about the vacuum and the space that you're creating to welcome in these new people, and then let new people in when you find them. Don't be scared. Have the courage to let new people in. Also, be intentional about finding a mentor who is further down the road than you, who can shorten your learning curve and introduce you to, your soul tribe and a group of like-minded people. Okay, below this video, leave a comment and let me know about your new commitments to really creating an incredible soul tribe. Where are you going to draw a line in the sand? How are you going to be boldly yourself? How are you going to get excited about the vacuum? How are you going to let new people in? Who's the mentor that you want to work with? And if you're interested in working with me or getting my videos and my weekly updates on email, head on over to mastinkipp.com for more inspiration. We have a lot of retreats and seminars and stuff that I'll be letting you know that are coming up. So if you're interested in a mentor with me, happy to have you. Most importantly, and as always here, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. Make sure it's 2016 to get out there, take action, and make it real. We'll see you tomorrow. Lots of love. Bye-bye.